Okay, so here I am in Le Brenets behind me. Now, I'm taking a break from the Neuchâtel at the moment, just because it is a little bit too snowy and a little bit windy. So I'm here to check out a couple of lakes I want to pack raft. So nice little 30-kilometer round trip. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so here we are at Lac de Moron. A couple of interesting facts about the lake behind me. Depth is around about average 25 meters. It is a reservoir, so it is dammed. Width is at its widest point only 150 meters with a length of 4 kilometers, so relatively small, relatively shallow. Fun fact, on the other side there, just behind me, that is France. So yeah, the border between France and Switzerland is somewhere in the middle of that lake, just there. So yeah. Now, the main river that was dammed to make this lake is the Doubs. I'll have a little bit more information on that river later, but in 2022 this entire reservoir was completely dried out. So yeah, fully dried up due to the heat wave. But I'll have some more information on that later down the line. But yeah, today's primary goal is to walk along the lakeshore of Lac de Moron, past a waterfall down to Lac de Moron, and then from Lac de Moron, following the Doubs to a certain point, and then I'm heading uphill down to Le Chute du Fond, and then from there it's home. So all in all, around about 30 kilometers, give or take. So yeah, that's the plan. Okay, so as is a theme with a few of my walks recently, I do have to double back, and that is because the path that I've been following isn't on the map anymore. And a good reason for that is because, please ignore the graffiti, dangerous path. So yeah, I'm going to double back and take the official path. But it is nice to be able to actually scope a little bit of the lakeshore, because this is incredible. Okay, so just thought I'd quickly say, depending, I might not be able to get a lot of filming done today, as it is Easter Sunday, which means places are going to be absolutely jam-packed. So yeah, we'll see what I can get done, and I'm sure I'll be able to somehow tell the story. So it might not be third-person shots or me talking, might just be scenic shots and that sort of thing, but you know, still fun and entertaining, and improvise, adapt, overcome. Okay, so where I'm hiking up to now isn't actually on my route, but it is a viewpoint, so hopefully, I mean, from what I've already seen, there should be a view, but fingers crossed, it gives me a little bit of an overview of the entire lake system. Hopefully, Lac de Moron as well, so yeah. So that was the viewpoint de Calvin. So yeah, just making our way now to the, just gonna make my way now down to the dam, and then to the waterfall, and fingers crossed. Oh man, oh man, owie, 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 that was painful. Oh man, I'm so happy I don't have anything fragile in this pack. Oof. I'm gonna stop it. I'm okay. Well, that was actually kind of hair raising. If I'd slipped, oh wow, if I'd slipped, gone the wrong way, I would have gone down that. I'm gonna stop videoing now. That was a mistake that never should have happened. Okay, so I completely missed this on the way up, but let's go check it out. I'm going in. Yeah. Let's go have a little look-see. What's in the cave? Yeah. That is pretty cool, and it is a little bit narrow in here. So let's beat a hasty retreat, shall we? Pouch out of the way. Oh man. That was really cool. That was something. Okay, so For those of you that don't want to kayak the lake, and I'm actually surprised there is a service on here, there is, fingers crossed my camera can pick it up. Yeah, hopefully you saw that through the trees, but there is a small cruiser service here. I don't really know too many details about it. I don't know what the ticket prices are and so on. But yeah, I will include information to that in the description. The main thing is that they only operate on Lac de Moron. I think if you want to explore Lac de Moron by water, you'll have to use a kayak, packraft, stand-up paddleboard, canoe, or any other small waterborne vessel. So yeah. But it is pretty cool to see that they do operate that. If you look at the pictures of this lake fully dried out, you can actually see them on the lake bed, and it is just something from like an apocalypse film. Or what is it, the Aral Sea, is it? Yeah, the Aral Sea, like all the shipwrecks there, it was surreal. So, that was the waterfall on the River Doubs. Here we have an even slightly better bird's eye view of it. So yeah, the name of the waterfall is Lac de Doubs, I think it's Lac de or something, Doubs, Lac de Doubs. Here we go. Yeah, Lac de Doubs. And what's interesting about this walk is I didn't know, but apparently there's loads of old industry, which, if you know me, I am a massive fan of. So there's lots of ruins of old mills, loads of old industry here. So yeah, I've got around about 4 hours and 20 minutes to get to Maison Monsieur, I think. Sorry, you know me, French is not one of the languages I speak, but I do want to learn it. Anyways, I digress. So yeah, there's a lot of old ruins on this track, and there are 16 different points along this end of the Doubs that show that. So yeah, once we get past Lac de Moron, that's when I'll reveal a little bit more information about the Doubs. So yeah. This scenery is definitely bringing back memories of Store Vatnet in Norway. This entire lake system, I mean, it's a lot more in a valley than there. But oh my days, that little cabin that I just saw, that reminds me so much of Norway. So yeah, and also, I don't think I mentioned this, but I did have a hypothesis, and that hypothesis was that once I passed the waterfall, it would get a lot quieter, and well, it turned out it did. So yeah, a couple of trail runners, but other than that, it's been fairly quiet. So yeah, fingers crossed it stays this way. Okay, so behind me, just there, is Départ de Kayak, which is on the French side, which it looks to be a boating station. So I think you can either rent or leave boats there. Yeah, the water level of the lake, I will not lie, is very shallow. I mean, you've got the classic bathtub line going around the perimeter. Reminds me very much of Lake Mead, and definitely Glöntaler from last year. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, I am really surprised, especially given the fact that today is actually, day of recording is Easter. I am really surprised that no one is actually out on the lake kayaking or paddling. I've got two hypotheses for this. The first one is that the water is absolutely freezing, which is why no one's doing it. And the second is that the lake water is too low and that it will disturb the fish. That is a very important point, which we will get to later once we get onto the Dube proper. Okay, as Darth Vader once said, I am altering the deal, pray I don't alter it any further. Yeah, I've decided to change the route slightly. So my original plan was to follow the Doub down. However, I think I am going to cut it a little bit shorter. I'm still going to follow the Doub, maybe 1.5, 2 kilometers, and then I'm going to head up into the cliffs on yonder, double back up to a viewpoint, and then down to La Chère du Fond. And then, yeah, I'll see if I hike into La Chère du Fond itself, or I just stop at the train station, La Chère du Fond, Le Locle. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, see how things stand, because I do have to remember that even though I get, let's say, theoretically, I were to finish my original route at 9 p.m, that would still be 4 hours and a bit to get home. I mean, it took me the better part of almost, it definitely, I mean, I was out the door this morning at 5:30. I didn't get to Le Brenets until around about 9:30, so yeah, it's not. Okay, so that is the dam for Lac de Moron. Now, if you are kayaking or any sort of paddle craft activity on this lake, you are to stay a minimum of 100 meters away from the dam, just because there is turbines under there, and if something were to happen, you could get dragged under, and well, that, yeah, not good. Another point is, remember earlier what I said about the bathtub line? There's a boat down there, and now that should be floating, so yeah, hasn't looked like it's floated in a while. I mean, there's wood on top of the chain, and that little jetty there definitely looks like it hasn't seen water in ages. I mean, remember earlier when I said about Lac de Brenets completely drying out? Well, I think Lac de Moron had something similar, and they're just trying to refill it, but that's just conjecture at the moment. I'll do some more research and I'll get back to you on that. But yeah, now we're just gonna walk through a tunnel for a little bit, I think, and then down to the bottom there, and yeah, to the Doub. Okay, so behind me is the Doub, so the river now, rather than the two reservoirs that I've been walking along. Now, something important about the Doub is in terms of water sport. Unlike a lot of rivers in Switzerland, the Doub is not free for all. It's not. You can't just sort of turn up when you want, where you want, and start paddling. The Doub primarily is a fishing river, so that means that the fishery has priority. Main reason being is that there is a very specific species of trout that is specific to the Doub, because the Doub is part of the catchment area for the Rhone. So yeah, it is known for a very specific kind of trout. And yeah, basically if you have too many people kayaking and that sort of thing, or canoeing on the river, then it stresses the fish out, which is not good for the fish population. Yeah, because fish are very temperamental to stress, water temperature changes, water level changes, everything. Fish are very, very fragile animals. So yeah, if you're handling fish, make sure you handle them with wet hands, because they do have a mucous membrane which can get damaged if you hold it with dry hands. That leads to infections which can kill the animal. So yeah, the rule when it comes, I'll digress, but going back to paddle sports on the Doub, it is possible to paddle the Doub. You just have to check the water stand, or the water level, because you cannot kayak or paddle the Doub if it's lower than a certain amount, and they only release that information, I believe it is at 6 p.m. the day before. So if, for example, today is the 31st, if I was to check the water level tonight and it said green, then tomorrow on the 1st of April I would theoretically be allowed to paddle. A little bit annoying if you're doing a 2-day tour and on the end of your first day it says, oh yeah, you can't paddle anymore tomorrow. Well, yeah, not ideal. And you can also, so that is the water level, and you can also only paddle the Doub between, I think it's 10 and 5 in the evening, I think. I'll have to double check that, but there is also a time limit on when you're allowed. So yeah, those are the rules and regs for the Doub. Okay, so I saw a little mouse nest and the little mouse that lived there. So I'm guessing if the small critters are starting to make an appearance, then I'm guessing spring really is on the way, especially with all of this amazing plant growth that's happening. So yeah, let's see, earlier this week I saw a fox, about 12 deer, now I've seen a mouse. I'm starting to see the whole circle of life here. So, final couple hundred metres, few hundred metres to go, then we're out of the gorge. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to film too much because I predominantly want to focus on moving rather than filming. So yeah, 3 hairpins down, 3 to go. Not long to go now. This is why, when you're camping in a woodland environment, it is imperative to check trees. I mean, this is some kind of conifer tree. Literally see how it just snapped. Ooh, there's quite a bit of fat wood up there. But yeah, you can literally see how this thing snapped. But yeah. A lightning strike? Nah, just snapped. But no, again, I'm not harvesting. I'm not rigged for harvesting today. Look at that, you can even see like the inner core of the mahogany there, and the timber. That's pretty cool. Well, almost to the summit now, and a little bit of light drizzle, so yeah, it's meant to get worse as the evening progresses, but I think I should be in the train station in the next 90 minutes or so, because I always move faster going downhill. So yeah, almost there. And the path, well, the path is non-existent. Open field, my favourite.